Hi, my name is Vlada. I have a nickname. It's Vlada Healing. Why Vlada Healing? Because I'm my main instrument of healing, and healing for me is a very bright term, which means a lot of different spheres, and take all the spheres under this word healing. Healing means not only something what witches did before or something spiritual. It means only that if you have any kind of problems in your life, uh, you are not satisfied with something in your life or your health, uh, this is possible to be fixed. Yes, for sure. And this is where you can look. And when you look, you can change something. It's not always the need to change. For some people, it's more important to accept something, because some people, especially like me, we always want to change something. We don't accept something. So part of healing is also to accept yourself and love yourself. But we will not go to such high dimensional categories as uh, love to yourself for now. Uh, Even it's a very important topic. I want to start generally about healing and my path into this sphere. So I was working, I finished the system analysis faculty and was quite in developing into more business direction. I started working in advertisements and in agencies, marketing agencies, and marketing, complex marketing, and then switched to project management. And I was a CEO of a SaaS company. It's IT company, and then I was in consultancy. But this was like part of my life. But in parallel, I started to discover what real field is. Field of humanity, not the business field, not the work field or mind field, where we, because in universities we more develop in our minds, our thinking, our decision-taking processes, our intelligence, but this is another kind of field. Some real kind of field, it's humanic, because we are real, we are human, and we made according to the goddess build, yeah, and we can open the goddess part in ourselves when we think about us, not that we are just bodies, but we are made according to the God as the God is. It doesn't mean now for now, do you believe in God or no? We'll come to it's just more, take it more psychologically now. What do you think about yourself, who you are? So, first time in my life when I felt something real was when I started giving yoga classes for free in the company where I was working for other people, and I felt thankfulness, real thankfulness, which came from the heart. It was not like clients paying money and then they're thankful, but there is no thankfulness at all, because it's just a contract and that's all between you and them, or them and company. And when I felt something real and thankfulness from the human, from my colleagues, I felt this energy, an energy of thankfulness. It exists and it's very strong and powerful. Let's call it a spiritual field. In spiritual field, we have different kinds of energies, like thankfulness is one of them. We will discover what others are in next videos. After this, I had a path into yoga for many years, and that time I had a very bad relationship with my father. We even didn't spoke for 2 years, but yoga fixed this for me. I fixed it inside myself, and I harmonized relationship with my father, which was very important for me. And then I came to meditation. And after 6 years of yoga, I came to meditation and started doing vipassanas and other meditation techniques. I passed through different guided auto meditation as a system analyst. I also discovered some yoga, so to say, sectors, and not only yogic, because I understand their structures and I can separate the sectors from the real spirituality. So it's not the case of being in a structure. Real spirituality is just inside human, inside your life, not in any kind of movement or sectors. So after yoga and meditation, I was in different traditions. I did a lot of kirtans, a lot of prayers. I have also, and I felt that, okay, yoga is great. Yoga's directions are great. But something real for me was lost, because I'm coming from Ukraine, and I remember that we have our own spirituality, but I was not connected to it somehow, because I was more into yoga, and I understood that this lays into the roots. And after this, I started a process of being again connected to my family, relatives, and I did a lot of attempts. I wrote letters, I took tickets and go to visit some places where my relatives live, where I never was, and my parents never bring me there. I met new people in the villages whom I never seen in my life, and build relationship with them, what was a great connection to the roots. So it's not just on the paper, it's real things which I did. And also when I started working on the roots connection, some even relatives from USA just appears in my life. They were buying tickets just to visit me in Ukraine, what was very surprised for me. Also some relatives which I never known before. They just starting to appear, because I put my attention into this field. And after this, after the building relationship with relatives and visiting my roots, I get into, so to say, shamanic world. I met some medicine, and I was rejecting it for a long time, but then when I feel the call, I accepted it, and it's happened very quickly. I met ayahuasca, and first it was ayahuasca. I went to Sundance in Peru. It's a spiritual gathering of spiritual workers from all countries of the world, and it's more in South America and North America cultures, but it's also interesting for us to exchange this universal knowledge, because most of all they are universal. It's already more spiritual work with Mother Earth, with spirits and plants and medicine for healing. I spent 3 years with discovering medicine impact of ayahuasca, and also I was taking some steps into the vision quest, which is a shamanic tradition. Then it brings me in social life, it brings me to the psychotherapist experience, and I went to the university to take a diploma of psychologist, which I broke in the middle, because I understood that this has no sense and this knowledge is just not interesting for me. It's not practical in use, and it's just for taking a diploma. So I rejected this. I'm not belonging to systems. I use just the knowledge which is alive and helpful, not some thoughts about the knowledge. But it was my own decision. I don't give any advices. For someone, maybe it will be a useful step, but not for me. I go outside all uh, systems, so to say. As I said before, a Gregor system. Um, I believe that all knowledge is inside of us when we start trusting ourselves. Because we are really genius and created as a genius, especially women. I'm not trying to be sexist now, but women are really very great, because we can create babies. Come on, we can create the gods. And does someone teach you in the university how to do this, by the way? Do you have a diploma of being mama? And this is shortly about my experience. I also went to the therapy and to psychotherapy. I finished the family constellation group for being a therapist, and start my work in experience in this field. But more, I'm interested in alive processes, and I feel that alive processes which bring in people in a life stand are working much better than any kind of psychotherapy. But some people really need it, so I don't de-evaluate. Everyone has his own time and steps. So I'm talking now to those people who are on the step to listen me and my knowledge. High five. So about my healing experience. This was about my professional, so to say, experience. Now I want to say some words about my healing experience and why I came to this topic and why I am evangelist of this field. When I was 21, I get a lot of pain in my knee, and my mother brought me to the famous surgery. I did some Röntgen and MRT, and I was said that I must go to the operation, because there are no other possibilities, and I will become invalid in this case if I don't do the operation. I was crying that time because I didn't knew any cases of healing, and the only thing I can rely on was me and my feelings that no, I will German ziehen. I was pulling a bit, stretching, pain, but the main thing was paying attention to this problem. And I work also with my hands, which are also a great possibility to heal. And you can even do like this, and this will create some kind of electromagnetical field and put them there. But also what is more important is breathing. When we connect movement and touch with our body part, and we connect with breathing and with awareness, and our awareness is not thinking about something, but it's there in the knee, and we give time for this. We don't take any quick decision. We just follow the process and go deep and give us time. I took every time 15-20 minutes, and it was just a belief that I can do something. Maybe not I, but the problem can be solved. That was a feeling and my belief. So belief is very important, and it helped me for 6 months as I forgot about my pain and get out of the situation without any kind of operation. So congratulations to myself, superpower. And I believe that you also can do it with any kind of problem you have. now or before or in future. Mm, I also had other problems like into then I discovered psychosomatical healing after I get a nerve tick in my neck, and it was so strong that I was losing my consciousness for hours, but I couldn't do anything. The time I was visiting German Institute Charité for Healing and Health. It's a medicine institution, and they did me different examination, but they didn't find anything. It was by 5 different doctors, psychotherapist, psychiater, neurologist, surgery, normal doctor. They say all is good with you. We don't see the problem. And at that time, for me, these things were costing a lot of money also, because each time you go to the doctor, it's like 70 euros, or MRT is 1,500 euros. It's money. And that time, I get back to Kiev, also thanks to my father, who recommended me a healer in Ukraine. And I come back, and on my belief again, that's why I'm saying that believing in your healing is very, very important. I get back, and I went to this man who was just a healer, and it was like more, not so to say modern healer, it was like old style healer. And he was blind and doing the same things to everyone, like squeeze, do some manual therapy, and let go of the person. A lot of the cues were staying in for him, from the child with DCP to grandmothers with Alzheimer. Everyone was visiting him, and he does the same things. But he was when you watch this from the outside, but he was working for sure with energetical body, not with the physical, but through the physical manipulation. Of course, he connected, but the work was more deeper. And I went 18 times to him, and 70% of my illness were solved. I come back to Germany at that time, and in a half of the year I come back to him to visit him and do again healing sessions, and the problem was solved for 98%. 2% had left for me for the next of my life, so I can discover it and work with myself. I'm still working with this. Maybe just give me the motivation to maybe create these videos and so on to talk about healing. Because after I go to study different manual techniques of work, like massages, I went through different massage therapists and learned from them. I start working myself as a massagist, but then when I started doing massages, I understood that I can work with the body not just manually, but also like thin touching, when you touch with the finger and you touch deeper than the physical body, if you feel that. And then you can connect with energy of inside the person. But it's already a high level work. We can make a special video for this energetical work. It's not for introduction video. And so I was healed by this healer. And as I understood later, I was also learning from him unconsciously what he did, because after I was using this for me, his methods of work, and plus one more experience. What else? I also had a scoliosis, a very strong one, from my childhood. And with this topic, I work deeply on all level of consciousness, with understanding myself, with examining myself, with being aware of any spheres of my life, of my man and female part, of my love to myself and to others, of any kind of prejudice and beliefs which I have in my head, and also with some um, spiritual topics as a scene, for instance, because if you won't believe or not, they also exist. If you do something against others, it also can be, or we wish something bad or do something bad, it also impacts our health. So I think it's enough about my experience, but it's not everything. But for the beginning, I think it's enough. So what I'm doing now, it's more holistic work. I work both with individuals and groups. I all the time I do something new because I like to experiment, and this is life. All life things to bring aliveness to the human must be life and new, not something like a stone, old and fixed, crystallized. And I do Leela game. Provide Leela game is very interesting life coaching instrument for self reflection and learning something new from the guide who provides the game. Uh, I I organize group sessions for women. It's a cycle of sessions from woman weaknesses and dark side and shadow to wild woman, like where we connect to our natural forces and our sexuality, and we get it holistically back for ourselves. So we own our sexuality, not like a girl, but like a woman already. And to the other steps. So it's a series of meetings, and also like different spa sessions which bring health, and retreats, tours outside going, and of course some information which is important to know about healing. It could be like information from Theta healing, from Ayurveda, from different therapy types, etc. What I want to summarize in this video, I want to summarize that healing is a beautiful path, but if you dive into it, it will take you for maybe a long process to discover yourself, to learn yourself, to love yourself, to change yourself and the world, because you will never be the same, and maybe your relatives, parents, friends will never understand you, and maybe you will lose everyone, but you will get yourself, and then everyone who really loves you will be with you. But the main thing is that you will be with you, and you will be healthy and full of energy. Uh, in healing the results, there are also topics like struggling, negative emotions, depressions, and we will go through this in individual lessons. Stay tuned. Happy for share this first video and put likes if you like me. Thanks. Or what I'm telling for you and share with you. I hope it was not so. I hope it was good. Thanks, and see you in the next videos. Ciao.